Hi, cats and kittens. This is Lo from See Hear Say TV and ManifestoPart2.com. I really wanted to take a minute to talk a little bit about Hurricane Sandy and kind of how it's affected me and mine, and a lot of the people in the New York City and New Jersey area because I live in New Jersey. I was born and raised here, and I'm a Jersey girl at heart, and I also work in New York City, and I just had a few things to say about it. So what I did was I have my little list of things that I wanted to talk about, so if I kind of refer to it, you're just going to have to deal with it. I'm going to try my best to be sensitive to everybody who's dealing with, no power, no heat, no anything, um, and try to bring a little bit of humor just because that's how I cope with everything. So, to start off, when we first heard about Hurricane Sandy, I think a lot of us were kind of like, oh, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I personally always take heed. When someone says something bad is coming, I go and I get all the things I need. So I went to the supermarket, I got canned goods, and I got, there was no water. No water was available. There were people in line with lots of water. I said, screw the water. I'll boil some water and put it in my leftover wine jugs, which I did. Um, but I was still kind of like everybody else thinking it's not going to be that bad because, they're saying, oh, it's the storm of the century and it's going to be horrible and blah, blah, blah. And I was just kind of like, oh, I don't really think so. I feel like when people go overboard trying to prepare for stuff like this, and that's when it's not really that big of a deal. So got all my stuff, and me and my husband Aaron, we were pretty much unscathed. At the end of the storm, after everything was said and done, the worst that happened to us was that our the rear view mirror on the right side of our car got knocked off, and we we couldn't get into the city. That was like pretty much the worst of it. So for us, so we were still kind of like, oh, this really wasn't that big of a deal. So on Monday night, when the storm actually like hit really hard, I went outside. We have a balcony which is directly behind me. There's a little balcony. We're on the first floor, so it's more like a porch. But so I go out on the porch and I'm, kind of checking out the trees, looking like they're about to fall down and destroy all the cars, and looks like stuff is uprooting and looks like Armageddon. And I'm thinking, oh wait, this is real. Like shit got really real really quick. Um, and then on top of it, I saw a light in the sky. Like I was standing there. I'd been outside for maybe like 30 seconds, and I see this light, like just kind of like illuminate the entire sky. So it wasn't like lightning. Like lightning is like lightning bolt, like bolt. No, it was like the entire sky lit up, and it was this neon blue, turquoise, green, purple color that lit up the sky. So I thought the aliens were coming for us. Like I'm not even trying to be funny. Like I came inside and I was like, babe, the aliens are here. We need to. I already have our birth certificates and our wedding certificate. All the paperwork we need is together. Let's get the water and my wine jugs and let's get all that stuff together. And he was like, he's playing video games, so he's like not even really caring what I'm saying. And he's like, babe, whatever, just shut up. But I really thought something was happening, and what it turned out to be was that it was a Con Ed transformer in New York City had blown up, and it lit up the entire night sky over New York, in New Jersey, like the whole thing lit up. And then immediately after the whole thing blew up, there was like no lights in New York City, none. Like the it's called a city that never sleeps. It was fucking sleeping. It was knocked the fuck out. So I'm like, oh shit, like everybody's like, there's no power. And it's kind of crazy because you think New York City is this bustling city, has all these people, and nobody had power. And that was kind of crazy. So that was like kind of the first thing that made me say, oh wait, this storm is really, really real. So that was one thing. And then so we ended up like making out really, really well, and that we didn't lose power. for that long. I mean, the lights flickered. We had moments of darkness, but they were really, really quick. So we survived that. We've maintained, since our heat is power, so we were cool with heat. We had the food that I went and like spent like I don't even know how much money trying to get food to make sure we had food. So we were pretty good, and you know we just had the one thing with the car, but that was fine. Then on Tuesday morning, you started hearing like reports of like what actually happened in New York City, and I was looking on weather.com. They had all these pictures of like 14th Street, which was underwater. It had like water up to like the windows of the cars, and Staten Island they were calling like our version of the Ninth Ward of Louisiana when they had Katrina. People were dying like the the Jersey Shore is gone. Like there is no Jersey Shore anymore. The kids from Jersey Shore with their little stupid ass show, the shore store is gone. Everything is damaged inside. The those like metal doors that come down, those were completely like pushed in and crinkled up and this is only a what do they call it, a category 1 hurricane. So I'm thinking like, whoa, if this was something worse, like it could have been crazy. Like, and then you think about, I think that they say the death toll is up to like 60 something people. And we're looking at, people in New Jersey, a few people in New Jersey died, a few people in New York died. Staten Island is like the highest number. But then there's also the people who are in the islands who were hit by the hurricane, and no one's really talking about them. It's kind of like we've forgotten the fact that the islands exist. People in the Bahamas, Jamaica, and all over there are a lot of people that died, and there were also people who are just under duress because they don't have their homes, they don't have anything, and they don't have the resources. Like we have resources, we can say, hey, yo, Barack, what's up? Let's get some money in here and let's get some fuel and let's get some let's get PSE&G and Con Ed to come in and fix our electricity, and it'll happen. Like it may not happen immediately like we want it to happen, but it will happen. But in the Bahamas, there is no PSE&G. It doesn't. There's no Con Ed. Nobody's going to fix their shit. What's going to happen to them? Okay, so let's think about those people. Okay, but wait, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, so people have lost their homes, which is a major thing. It's really big thing. They have to either rebuild or they have to buy something else. But you have to also think about the fact that they're losing memories. Like I'm a big picture person. Like I love taking pictures. I've been taking pictures since I can remember. I have like 1,000 photo albums. Like if my photo albums were gone, I would die inside. Like because that's really, really important to me because those are your memories, and that's something you can't get back. You could build a house, but you can't get back your memories. Like these people have nothing. And then after the storm, it's outside right now. Today it's Sunday morning at like 2:24. It is cold as shit. It's not even like, even if you have your house still standing and you don't have power, you might have some blankets that you could cover up in. But what about the homeless people who weren't able to get to a shelter or who just for whatever reason don't want to go to a shelter? They're outside and they're freezing in the cold, and they probably were swimming in the water because the water was at least waist deep in a lot of areas. Like, what are they going to do? They're just going to be cold. I don't like being cold. Like, I'm really thankful that I have, my apartment where we have our electricity is going, our heat is going. I got my heat pumped up. But I also kind of feel a little bit guilty that nothing happened to us. Like, I'm not saying that I would trade spaces with anybody because a lot of these people don't have anything, but I feel a little bit guilty that nothing happened to us because it's kind of like I'm sitting here feeling a little bit cushy. I've got all of the things that I normally have any other day. The worst that happened to me is that my rearview mirror got knocked off and I couldn't get to work because I really care about that. But there's so many people who don't have anything. One of the things that was, well, actually there was like two things that kind of irritated me. about how people were reacting to the storm and some of the things that people were saying. Like, I'm very thankful. I'm so thankful to whoever that I had my power sustained and I didn't, I didn't lose anybody. My apartment is intact. Everything is intact. But I'm not going to be like, oh, thank God Jesus was raining down on me because, I didn't have anything happen to any of my stuff in my house. No, I'm not going to say that, because to say, oh, Jesus was looking out for me is to say, oh, Jesus wasn't looking out for all these millions of people who don't have power, who don't have food, who don't have any of this stuff. So that like kind of pisses me off. People like, oh, Jesus is looking out for me. So what about everybody else? He said, fuck you to them. No, no, it has nothing to do with God. It doesn't have anything to do with that. So that was one thing that really pissed me off. The other thing that pissed me off was that when the rain and the winds first started on, like, I say Monday, well, Sunday it kind of started, but like on Monday, people are outside in the wind and rain. They're on the beach. They're fishing. They're surfing. I'm going to catch the big wave. They're doing all this ridiculous stuff. And we have these rescue workers who are, some of them I'm assuming are getting paid, but there's a lot of volunteers, people who are out there saying, out there to save our lives, who are putting themselves in danger to get your stupid ass off the beach because you're sitting there talking about, oh, it's a storm, I'm having an experience, this is an adventure. Get your ass off the beach. Why are you there? Why are you there? That's dumb. That makes me angry. Makes me really angry. So that was the second thing that made me really upset. Oh, and then, so you hear all these different stories that come like after the storm of the devastation and, the people killed and things like that. And there was one particular story about these two little boys. There's a mother who, I don't know all the details of the story, but all I know is that she got caught out in the storm at some point. She had her two young sons. I think one was like 4 and one was like 2. And they were in a car, and she got out the car, and she like put them on the roof of the car, and she was like holding them, just hoping that like either somebody would come and help them or that they could ride it out. And the storm was so forceful that it ripped her children out of her arms, and unfortunately the 2 babies perished in the storm, and they like found their bodies the next day. But I heard something about like there were neighbors around who could have helped them, and they didn't do anything. And I really feel like situations like this bring out the best and worst of people. Like, there are people who see someone in need and say, you know what, I don't know you from Jack, but come in my house because I know you're stranded and, you need some warmth and some food. But then there's other people who are just kind of like, I got these AA batteries and I'm not going to tell my sister that I got these AA batteries because I don't want her to take them. Like, it's really crazy how people have this whole survival of the fittest, I'm just going to keep all my stuff to myself and not share it with anybody else. Like, my job was actually closed for, I think it was like 2 days that the building was actually closed. I work in Midtown, so it wasn't that bad affected by the hurricane, but for my job to close, that's a big thing. But, I had sent an email to my team, my immediate team, saying, like, listen, if anybody needs anything, you guys can come over. And, I like them enough, but generally speaking, like, if it was any other situation, I wouldn't invite them over. But I was like, listen, everybody's going through this together. You can come over, eat some food, go to sleep. Don't really talk to me that much because I'm not into you like that. But, come over and spend some time, because I know a lot of the people that I work with didn't have anything. And it's crazy because this storm, like, all of us were thinking like it's not a big deal, but like there was a telethon on Friday night. Like, it was so bad we had a telethon. When there's a telethon, shit is real. Like, when there's a telethon, bad stuff happens. Christina Aguilera was singing her ass off for us. Like, say what you want about her. She looks crazy. She looks swollen. Whatever. She was singing, and I was crying, and I was donating to the Red Cross. That's what I was doing. I don't know what you were doing. last night, but that's what I was doing. Um, it just boggles my mind because my immediate area, yes, although it kind of still looks a little bit like a war zone, it doesn't look like a lot of the places around here. So it's almost unreal. Like, and I haven't been able to get into the city because, NJ Transit has been shut down, and the path has been shut down. The buses kind of started running a little bit, but I haven't been able to see for myself. I almost want to go down to Battery Park and Red Hook and Brooklyn and kind of like see for myself with my own eyes what's going on. Like, this whole storm is like really, really crazy. I feel like things aren't going to be normal for a really, really long time, and you just don't think that it's going to happen to you. You know, like I said, I'm very thankful that we haven't been affected um, personally, like me, my husband, ours haven't been affected that much. I mean, my mom lost power for, I want to say, about a day and a half. We tried to get her to come stay with us, but she wasn't really feeling it. Um, but I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have power. Like, I'm very shallow when it comes to my internet and my electricity. I need my TV on. I need my Wi-Fi. I need my cell phones working. I need all of that. I need it. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I need it. Like, I think if I didn't have any of those things, I might actually perish. I might die. Like, if I can't post on my website and I can't, you know, farm my farm in Farmville, like, I might die. And it's kind of crazy that we're so dependent on these things, but that's real. Like, that's really real, that I kind of feel like I don't think I could survive that. So I think if I'm going to be thankful to God for anything, he said, wait a minute, wait a minute. These folks over here couldn't have power. Lo needs to have internet because she's not going to make it. She's not going to make it. Let's just let her have power so she can log on and tweet, because that's what I need to do. Let's talk about everything. Telephone, traveling, Jersey Shore. The supermarket. Okay, so like when I went to the supermarket on, I think it was like Saturday, everything was kind of chill. Like, I mean, there were a lot of people in there, and there was some stuff, like there wasn't water, but for the most part, it was pretty chill. Like, everybody was cooling out. I went to the supermarket on Tuesday. On Tuesday, it was like Mad Max from Thunderdome. Like, people, I think I saw a few people stab each other in the aisles for like a can of beans. Like, people get really crazy in situations like this because they're just kind of like, I just got to get this food for me and my family. Like, I don't care about you. I don't care about what you're doing, what you're trying to do. Like, some people were in line, some people were just like, fuck the line. I'm just going to leave with myself. And to see that, it was like, really? Like, that's what you're doing? Like, just get in line. Everyone's in line. Just chill out. But considering the fact that a lot of folks are in really dire straits right now, that's that's what they're doing. I was like, I just came in here because I wanted some cheddar cheese so I could make myself a nice little barbecue chicken sandwich with a little cheddar cheese on it, and then, eat it and enjoy my TV and my Wi-Fi because I have electricity. But then, like, after seeing that, I was like, oh wow, it's really bad. Um, so yeah, I mean, that was my experience. I feel extremely bad and really sympathetic for the folks that have lost so much. I mean, they've lost their homes. Some people have lost their lives. They've lost their memories. They have nothing. Um, and I'm really thankful for organizations like the Red Cross who have rallied to get people the stuff they need. I know that FEMA um, there's something you can fill out. Like, if you've been out of work and you're not staff and you like haven't been working, you can fill out forms so that you can get money for the days you've been out of work. Anyone who has the means can donate to the Red Cross. I believe it's redcross.org that you can sign on to give money to the Red Cross. You should also check with your job if you work with like a big company like I do. My company is actually matching anything that I would give. So there might be actually a particular link that you should go to actually give money and have your company match that. So you should check into that. So if you can give money, give it. If you can give clothes, give it. I know that there's a lot of really random groups getting together. There's one girl that I work with who's put together a group of moms who are donating like Similac and like miscellaneous stuff like that to families who have young children who need stuff. So anything you can do, do it. Don't be like those fools in the supermarket who were trying to stab folks in the aisles. Don't do that. It's not necessary. It really isn't. Everybody will get the things that they need. It will come in time. It'll be hard for a little while. We'll all be struggling. But if you can actually like give something, do it. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. Oh wait, I have one more thing and then I'm done. So I was reading an article about the health hazards and the health risks that will come or can come from this whole situation. And one of the things that stood out for me was the rats. Anytime I'm like in the subway waiting for a train and I see a rat like run across the tracks, I have a minor panic attack because rats are the most disgusting creatures that I can even think of. So the article was saying that a bunch of rats are going to get killed in the storm because of the flooding. But the stronger rats, because rats apparently can swim their asses off, the stronger rats are going to just be running rampant all over this. They're going to be running all. They're going to be in the streets. They're going to be in the subways. They're going to be everywhere. They're going to be everywhere. Everywhere. I got to go to work on Monday. Mm-mm. I I'm gonna be okay. But the rats. I can't. I can't. I won't. I never did. I never will. The rats. We're gonna leave it at that because if I really go into what I'm feeling right now, it's gonna be way longer post than it really needs to be. So what I'm gonna say is I'm sending well wishes and love and hope and peace and money and coats and shoes and everything to everybody who really needs it. And I have actually done that. Like I'm not just saying that. Like I've actually sent like all those things to the Red Cross and some of the other organizations that have, worked together to get these people their lives back. But I'm sending all those things out tonight and forever on, and I really hope that we can kind of get ourselves together and make this happen because it's rough. It's rough right now. So good night. God bless, and see you on the other side. Bye.